I've only stumbled over diamonds, and I no longer fear the worst. I used to view you as a mountain that I couldn't climb but first. But I've only stumbled over diamonds, and I no longer fear the worst. You were the calm to my storm. You could take the wind, and though the wind stood calm, weighing on our shoulders, these the ice could never break us in. You were my horizon that I didn't see at first. You were my horizon, and the breeze is just what I deserve. You were my horizon that I didn't see at first. You were my horizon, and the breeze is just what I deserve. I used to view you as a mountain that I couldn't climb but first. But I've only stumbled over diamonds, and I no longer fear the worst. You were my horizon that I didn't see at first. You were my horizon, and the breeze is just what I deserve. You were my horizon that I didn't see at first. You were my horizon, and the breeze is just what I deserve.
Hello and welcome, friends. Allison, Cosmic Beat, nice to see you. Happy to be here today. Hope you guys are having a good time as well. I'm per usual lately off to a bit of a of a late start here. I'm getting this game set up. Doggerland. Okay, this is about 15,000 years ago. We're guiding our tribe through kind of like hunter-gatherer level technology, and we are trying to survive essentially, and ultimately gain some points and win the game, but largely not starve is a big one, I think. And Doggerland is like a place that fell in Europe, that like fell into the sea basically, and is the North Sea now, right? Like it's gone. Yeah, anyways, it's going to be an interesting one. I'm an absolute sucker for this sort of theme. Any sort of hunter-gatherer, caveman, whatever, I think is just like, I'm predisposed to liking that sort of, maybe not the game, but the theme anyway. So I'm kind of excited to give this one a try. I've been slowly setting it up here, and I do have a teeny bit more to do. I might also have to adjust the camera probably. Looks okay. Looks okay. This board is huge and kind of vertical. And I'm trying to use it that way because otherwise it's really hard to access the things I need to play this solo. I kind of need access to, a couple different spots on this board, and it's going to be a pain in the butt if I lay it out the other way, even though that would be probably a lot more practical for streaming. So, oh well. Give this a whirl. See how it goes. While I finish the setup here, I'll tell you a little bit about this game. Basically, like I've mentioned, we are hunter-gatherers. So we got a board down here, our player board, where we have room for 6 different little huts. Okay, we can either have basic ones that look like this, that can store up to gives room for up to 3 members of our tribe to hang out, to live, to avoid the elements and not die. Or we can get prestigious ones. They're going to be worth more points for us at the end of the game, but only give space for 1 person. Prestigious to live all by yourself. Pokemon Go. Hey, thanks for that follow. Appreciate you. Favorite game with that theme? I don't know if I have a favorite game with this sort of theme, Cosmic Beat. I feel like... Actually, I feel like I've played lots of games with this theme, and most of them suck. I will say that perhaps the only one that I play regularly is Stone Age, but I think Stone Age, it's my stepdad's favorite game, so we play it, or at least it was, so we play it a fair bit for that reason. And I think it's like a fine game, but it's like a little too light for me, right? I prefer to play something heavier, and I don't know that I've actually played a game with this theme that I like really enjoy. I'm a sucker for the theme. Most of the games suck. I don't know the way it goes. Stone Age is the other game of this theme I can think of. There you go. Exactly that. It's Greg. I've got 2 accounts. Thanks for that follow, Greg. I had an immediate feeling that it was you. I don't know why, but I'll take your follow. That's fine. Thank you for the support, per usual. So, back here on our player board, we have a couple other things going on. We are going to store our food over here, okay? So when we can like literally, forage for berries, they're going to go in this little bowl here. Any meat that we gather from hunting for game is going to go in this one. And these are going to age by moving to the right every time. So essentially our berries, our vegetables and crap, we can store for longer than meat. We don't really have the tech required to do that. And we're going to be feeding our little family every round. So these guys up here, these little meeples, I don't know, they're very small, so it might be hard to tell, but that's like a normal hunter-gatherer dude. Looks like that. We got our chieftain, and we got our shaman. Our chieftain is kind of like a better version of our normal guys. He has like some certain powers. He gets like discounts on building stuff, things like that. And our shaman has a bunch of like once per game powers that we can do. So see how that goes. I think we're gonna have to use them pretty effectively. We also track our skills over here. So we are hunter-gatherers. We basically can move a certain distance with from our village in order to go like on expeditions to hunt game and so on. We can only travel so far. We can also only carry so much of the resources that we find. And we're gonna need tools as we're doing these things. And these are all things that we can improve. We can kind of gain the ability to travel further. We can gain the ability to carry more stuff back. You know, we invented bags or something, like, I don't know, some sort of learned some method of carrying things more efficiently. And then we can get better and better tools, which we'll need for almost every action in the game. We're going to need tools for. See how that goes. Much love, James. Appreciate it. So, I got to set up the solo board here. There's a deck, which is going to determine kind of what our AI opponent is going to do. But in the meantime, we got this board over here, the main kind of attraction. So in the center of this, we've got our, this is like the area that we know about. So this is our village. Normally we would start with, maybe we'll put it that way. Normally we would start with everyone's village here on this central area, and we're going to slowly kind of like expand and grow outwardly. But for the single player game, obviously it's just us. We are also going to have various wild animals that appear here. So there's horses and reindeer. Okay, those are kind of every round we're going to alternate seasons. It's sort of like summer and then winter, or like warm season and then cold season. Okay, we're not smart enough to figure out that there's actually more than 2 seasons yet. So different animals are going to come out. These are the summer ones. That's why they're yellow. And then there's also these like woolly mammoths and
Thank you
whatever.
for the 25 long months of subscribing, Heavy Tech Man.
Hey, thanks, John. And whatever the hell this is, some like super bison thing with horns. I don't know what that's supposed to be. Anyways, those are kind of our winter animals. So they're going to appear over here over time, and they're also going to migrate around, and we're going to have to travel in order to, feed ourselves, to hunt, to find resources, and so on. There's also resources available on these various spots here. So like there's wood here, and there's rock, stone over here. From the lake, we can find shells as well as food. We can go hunting for small game. Things like that. And these resources we're going to basically use up ridiculously fast. We're going to exhaust them. If we go harvest rocks, well, we've done that one time. The rocks are all gone. Okay, so we're going to have to move around, and we're actually going to end up moving our whole village over the course of the game, like every round. So that'll be kind of interesting. See how it goes. We're going to end up playing 8 rounds, and we have a bunch of actions. Like we kind of take our actions largely down here, not strictly, on this board as well, but we have our fancy shaman once per game break the rules actions over here. Okay, we can do fancy things like normally we're limited for an expedition by how far we can travel, right? And the shaman can bend the rules. He can commune with the eagles and learn about some distant fertile land that we need to go explore, and then we can explore there no matter how far it is, a long journey, infinitely far away, things like that. So there's some like game breaking stuff we can do, which sounds pretty cool, I think. We can also build settlements. So if we want to grow our tribe, like in Stone Age, there's a little baby making hut where we can send some tribe members off. We can give them some alone time, and the net result of that is that there's a new member of the tribe that we immediately put to work the next season. He's like 6 months old. Go hunt that woolly mammoth, kid. Get to it. So that's going to be a thing. But if we want that, we're going to need more space, we're going to have to build some of these structures here, right? Because right now we have space for 6 members of our tribe, and we have 6. Okay. We can also make handicrafts, like little, you know, kind of basic jewelry and so on, things like that. You know, we're discovering culture and, you know, what it means to be in a society and the value of the arts. So we can work on those things. This essentially is a way for us to score points. I don't know how relevant this is going to be in the solo game, honestly. We'll see. And then way over here, we can paint, we can work on the fresco. So basically we can immortalize our successful hunts and things like that by doing like cave paintings of them. So that's that track up at the top there. In order for us to, you know, paint a picture of the great woolly mammoth that we successfully hunted, we have to actually hunt them, and they need to be stored in our recent memory. Normally that would be here, but I think we use this track for the solo mode. So we have to kind of have, you know, it has to be still sort of like within the collective memory, the verbal storytelling of the tribe when we paint the fresco. So that's kind of cool, I think. So let's figure out this the rest of this solo setup. I don't think it's very significant. We got one of these. I feel like I did skip one. Oh, that's objectives. Yes, normally we would have objectives in the main game, but we play with them a little differently. We have solo objectives, so we will not need these guys, I guess. Ditch those in the box. We're going to start with 3 berries, 3 meat, and 3 tools. No, 3 berries, 3 fur, and 3 tools. We don't start with any meat. Sucks to suck. Okay. Alright. This is our solo board here. Okay. So these are solo objective tiles. These are going to, basically, these are our win condition. So we're going to shuffle these up, and then we're going to play on easy mode because I think I'm going to get absolutely skunked by this game. I don't know why. That's just the vibe that I'm getting. There's going to be some opponents that are going to steal resources from us and stuff like that. And I have a strange feeling that they're just going to crush my will to live. So we're going to try playing on easy. So we're going to randomly take 6 of these objective tiles. And in order to win the game, we need to complete 4 of them. Okay. So get those out. Let me take a quick gander at what the hell these mean. What are we trying to do here? So we want to have at least 2 megaliths built. Okay, megaliths are these things here. You know, basically we can spend a ton of resources and effort to build these big, you know, stone structures to, you know, a testament to, I don't know, our greatness, our gods. I'm not sure, but more like all of the above, you know, who knows. This is to max out all 3 abilities. So range, how much we can transport, and our tool making capacity. Okay, this guy here, we want to paint at least 4 hot season animals. So that's the yellow ones, reindeer and horses, on the fresco. So that means we're going to have to be very actively hunting them because they need to be in our recent memory. This one looks like to have a tribe of at least 10 members. Super achievable. This is 3 winter fresco paintings. Okay. And then this one here is to have 6 habitats, and it doesn't matter whether they are prestigious or simple ones. So have 6 huts. We start with 2, but I'm not sure if they count. They count for 0 points. I don't know. I'm not sure. We'll judge that on how things go here, I guess. All right. So we apparently need a couple. There is a shaman and chieftain that we'll need for the solo game, and we also need a chief and a hunter-gatherer, and we also need the red shaman. We had to play as yellow. It's very prescriptive about color. It tells us what guys to use. And we need the red and blue shamans here to ruin our day, essentially. Where are you, shaman? There you go. All right, and there are 30 solo cards. We're only going to use 8 of them because we're going to play 8 rounds in this game. So, a good bit of replayability there, probably. We'll see. Maybe I'm getting the wrong read, and easy's going to be no problem, and we can just try again on a legit difficulty. I don't know. We'll see. Good afternoon, all. Welcome in, Dispatchinator. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Get rid of these other ones. And the card layout here shows us where we put the enemy hunters in our way, which actually really sucks. But that's okay. That's okay. What else we got? Pink and blue. Okay. All right, so these little discs here are going to mark resources that have been exhausted, and essentially we got these other tribes here, right? So this is us. This is our little village, okay? And we're going to send out our little hunter-gatherer types out to, in fact, these guys are supposed to be little wimpy dudes, whatever, doesn't matter. Anyways, we're gonna send them out to collect resources and so on, and when the resources have been fully taken, we put one of these little discs on here just to show that it's exhausted. And these dudes just yoink everything. They go onto these tiles. They're gonna move every round. They're gonna kind of migrate after the animals do, and wherever they pass through or end up, they just steal everything. So I feel strongly that we're just going to starve and die cold and alone. But we'll see. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. Okay, so I think that we actually have all of the setup done for the solo game. So we're done here. We are done. Okay, so we will start with the solo action. Starve and die, cold and alone. That's pretty rough. It's 15,000 years ago. We're trying to, we're hunter-gatherers. We have no technology. I mean, look. I wish I looked as fierce as this guy. But, he's gonna die to that woolly mammoth. Let's be clear. Or he's gonna, eat a strange berry, be poisoned and die. He's gonna, get a mosquito bite, dead. It's rough out there. It's rough out there. Frostpunk lifestyle. Yeah, Frostpunk with less heat. Starve and die, cold and alone. On brand. Hey now, I don't know. Failing, yeah, kind of on brand. Okay, so the first thing we do is we flip out one of these cards here to see what our annoying enemies, frenemies. I don't know, whatever. What these guys are gonna do. So we're gonna resolve the kind of event that happens here, and then do a bit of actions based on what it shows here. So it says, last night an animal wandered near your village. You capture it easily. Add 2 meat and 1 fur to your supply. Okay, that animal was stupid. We like that. Whoa, that's fine. The animals aren't very evolved either, so we'll take that. We'll take that. Okay, and then it says here, so we resolve like an action. There's only 3, I think, but this one basically means that on the fresco, we're going to paint as much as we can based on what's in the collective memory. So any animals that get hunted by our opponents actually go here, and then we're going to now, utilize them basically as much as we can. So the good news is we picked these fresco tiles randomly, and there actually isn't a space available for us to paint a reindeer, which is the only one that we've successfully hunted so far. If these guys had killed this horse, yikes, then there would be space to paint that, but there isn't this time. So we're not going to bother doing that. Sucks to suck. And then we're going to take these shamans, right, for the opposing tribes, and they're basically just going to block some of the actions for us. So we can't take these, right? So the good news is we had no intention of making these like megalith things this round, because we need like resources and stuff that we do not have. So these guys are not blocking us particularly effectively, so we don't care. And I think we move all of the guys after. Yeah. So we're going to do all of like our actions, and then we're going to resolve where these guys move kind of at the end of the round. So basically we have to kind of they call it programming our actions. I feel like this is largely a worker placement game, pretty much like most other worker placement games, but essentially we're going to place out all of our actions, or all of our workers, these guys, onto the board in various spots here. Okay, and then we're going to end up like resolving them later in an order of our choosing. And that's really important because like right now, for instance, I might take an action like, to build a habitat, or like who knows what, something that's going to require, maybe I want to make some of the handicrafts, right? I might need, wood or stone resources that I don't have yet. And I can still commit to those actions now, as long as I, resolve them in such a way that I get the resources I need first. So I put out all my workers, then I decide to go collect my stone before I go turn that stone into, a carving or whatever, right? So the actions, paint. I volunteer to paint. Oh yeah, Allison, you're on it. You can paint the animals in the cave 100%. Okay, so let's talk through all the actions, because I don't know what the heck I'm gonna do, because I'm new. So we can build a habitat. We would do that here. Okay, we'd place a single worker, so one of these dudes, we put it here, and then in order to like commit to this, we have to pay a tool. Okay, if we do this in the winter time, we have to pay a tool and a fur, and we have to actually do this like now when we're paying, or when we're placing our guys out. Okay, so this is called a programming cost, which we pay immediately, and then other things are going to have costs that we pay when we resolve them. So generally we're paying these programming costs like throughout the game. Okay, so we're gonna send this guy, and he's got a crude hammer or something that we have to pay in order to send him to build a habitat. Okay, and it's harder in the winter. He needs to have furs or he's going to freeze to death and die cold and alone building that habitat. Okay. So when we build the habitat, they have that further cost. Like a simple habitat's going to cost us stone and wood, right? That's going to give us 1 point and give us 3 spaces that for our tribe members to stay in. Okay. If we build the prestigious one, we pay a fur, a bone, and a wood, and it's worth more points, but only gives us space for 1 dude. So that's like the greedy play that I don't think there's any reason to do that sort of thing in the solo game, because we win not based on our score, but rather on if we completed enough of those objectives, right? So anyway, we'll see. Okay. We can always use our chief, this dude, as any other worker. Okay. Noob tube. What do you mean? What's the noob tube? Me? I don't know. Anyways, we can always use our chieftain, this guy, as any other worker, and he often gets like a benefit in a lot of cases. So if he constructs a habitat, we pay 1 wood less. So that's cool. But of course, our chieftain can't go everywhere. We only have 1. So we can do that. We can create a handicraft. Okay. Same deal here, except that when we create a handicraft, we always pay a tool, whether it's summer or winter. Okay. And we'll have to pay the cost on it, which these are quite expensive to build. So this gets us points, and these aren't an objective in our solo game, so I think we're gonna like ignore these. Basically, we don't believe in arts and crafts. Painting, yes. Necklaces or statues, no way. Like it is illegal. Okay. We can go down here. I'm new. You're the noob. Oh yeah. Okay, totally. So down here we can make make a baby. Okay. Turns out making a baby takes 2 workers. Okay. And we get that the new tribe member next round, and we do not have to feed them this round either. Somehow we A, don't feed them, and B, put them to work when they're like 6 months old, and it just all works out. We're just not going to think about that too much. But we can do that if we use our shaman. Our shaman, listen, I don't know what kind of tricks the shaman is pulling here, but one of the actions we can do with our shaman is to use send the shaman to reproduce, and somehow if that's the case, we get twins. We get 2 babies. So I don't know what the shaman knows, but he knows some sort of, magic that ends up with 2 babies instead of 1. Who knew? And my favorite thing about this game so far is in the rules here, it's listing out all the actions and what you can do, and it tells you the advantage for sending the chief, right? And it says the advantage for sending the chief to reproduce is nothing. The chief makes babies like everybody else. So, just the way it is, I guess. So we can gather resources from the board over here. When we're doing that, there's like specific requirements about how we have to gather them. So this matters a lot for those technologies we talked about earlier, right? Where we can travel 2 spots and carry 2 things per person. Okay. So the way that works out is when we come to gain resources, like let's say we sent an expedition to get wood here. Okay. It shows 2 wood on this icon, and when we go here, that means that for each person that we sent, well, that's not true. Okay, so we can send up to 3. There's this thing called a mastery score, which can be up to 3, which is essentially how many workers and tools do we commit to this, right? So we could send, say, 2 workers and a tool, okay, to go on a little expedition to the forest to chop down trees. Okay, so we've committed 3 things, and we're basically going to look at this icon and multiply it by 3. That's how many resources we harvest. So we're going to get 3 times 2, 6 resources out of that, 6 wood. But then when we're bringing it back to our village, well, these guys can each only carry 2. So we're actually only going to end up with 4. And instead of sending a tool, we could have sent another person, so that we would still get 6 and we'd actually be able to bring them all back. But then, of course, we're committing another tribes member there, and that person couldn't be on an expedition over here, or, you know, in the baby making hut, or whatever the case might be. So there's this weird kind of like balance between where we need to like send the right number of people to the right places with like an appropriate number of tools. Or else we're kind of wasting resources. And when our choices are, you know, harvest resources or die cold and alone, we probably want to waste as little as possible, you know? So that's a thing. Chief Baby Maker. Hey, if you're the chief, I think you've probably got some sway there. But the shaman's the one with the tricks, though. So I don't know. Okay, in the event that we want to go to one of the spaces that displays an animal, right? Like this one here is showing a horse, right? Anyone that has a figure on it, right? Like there's small game up here. It just shows a bunny rabbit icon. Sorry, Claire. Okay. Anywhere that has a figure on it, like a meeple, this is large game. So, excuse me, we can organize an expedition to hunt large game, but there's actually specific requirements depending on what it is. So for like a horse, we need a minimum of 2 mastery from at least 1 person. Okay, so we can never send an expedition of just tools. Unsurprisingly, they're like a hammer doesn't hunt on its own, or an axe or a spear or whatever we're using. Hunting with a hammer is kind of awful. Let's not think about that too much. We'll do what we got to do to not starve and die cold and alone. Okay. So we need to send at least 1 person, but we could send 1 person with a tool, for instance, right? And then it tells us sort of the resources that we're going to gain. So hunting the large game is how we gain bone, which we need for things like the handicrafts and stuff, right? It also gives us some meat, will help us feed our family, but doesn't keep very long. And fur, which we're going to need as a resource, like all through the winter for programming a ton of different actions. We're going to need to spend fur. Okay. So yeah, as the animals get larger, we need more people and more weapons and so on in order to successfully hunt, but we'll also gain more from doing so. And then, of course, when we have hunted them or our opponents have done so, they go into our collective memory here, like our opponents have taken down a reindeer, and then we can add those memories to the fresco if the slots are available. We can paint the fresco, okay? And I think we flip over a new one at the end of every round, but honestly, I don't remember. I know that there's only one available to us right now, and that we're going to slowly have more show up, but I don't remember by how that happens. Anyway, that's cool. We can also improve all these, right? So we can improve our ability to travel, we can improve our ability to bring back resources, and we can improve and create tools. So essentially, as we level up our kind of tool tech for the same or similar resources, we're going to get get a like increasing number of tools that we add to our available ones. So yeah, you know, we can get better tech. Instead of hunting with hammers, we can hunt with spears. Okay. There are some restrictions, like when we increase our tool, our things here, we can't. We can do this action multiple times, but not for a single tech. Like we can't go from being able to carry 2 to being able to carry 4 in one round, even if we can pay for it. But we could, you know, improve both of these in a single round. Things like that. A couple little restrictions here and there. Hopefully I don't run into them too frequently. And then the final thing we can do is we can use the shaman. So the shaman has his own little special board down here on the main game board. So to simulate having other players, we block this with a couple other of these player pieces each time. But essentially, our shaman can do any action, but he's the only one who can do the actions here, but they're once per game. So, you know, this one lets me paint twice, paint the fresco twice, for instance. But once I've taken this action, I mark it with a cube, and then I can never do it again. Okay, so I can paint the fresco twice. I can go on an infinitely long journey. I can build these megaliths, which are worth points and also are one of our objective conditions. The order we do them doesn't matter. Okay, I can use my special baby making powers to gain 2 babies, twins, once per game. Okay, I can trade with a distant tribe 2 of any resource for 1. I think I can do that any number of times, but 2 to 1. I can move my village. And of course, we can resolve these in any order. So, like, if we have only the ability to travel 2, we could, like, lift the village up out of the snow, move it somewhere else, and then our range for traveling 2 is a little different, right? So this one might be really powerful. And that's it. Those are the things my cool shaman can do here, right? And yeah, that's it. All right. What the hell are we gonna do? How are we gonna win? I have no idea. Now we've talked about how to play. What the heck are we actually gonna do? All right. So I think it stands to reason. Okay. The only thing I think I know for sure here is we should play this like we play Stone Age, which means we want to be making babies as often as possible, right? Why not? We have to feed them, which may or may not be a problem. I have no idea realistically how we're going to get enough food to feed everybody. But that sounds like a problem for future James, and what we should focus on right now is baby making. So we're going to do that. What could go wrong? Thanks for the follow. Hey, Asan. See you. All right. So, things we know. If we're going to make babies, we need to at least give them a place to live. We might put them to work in the field.
Thanks for the Prime subscription, Swagonium.
Hey, thanks for that Prime sub. Appreciate you. So we know we're going to put them to work when they're like 6 months old in the middle of winter, but we're at least going to give them a place to live first. Okay? Because we don't have space for them right now. We can only keep our 6 tribes members that we have right now. So we know we're going to have to send somebody over here to make a hut. And that when he's doing that, we're going to need to... Actually, wait a second. Are we even going to be able to... We might not be able to make babies yet. If we're going to make a hut, we need some stone and some wood. We don't have any resources yet. So that means we're going to have to do some little expedition-y kind of thing here. So that sucks. Okay. Maybe we gotta. Maybe baby making happens in the winter. We're trying to stay warm or something like that. You know. So, okay. Let's figure out how we can go on a little expedition here, right? Did I put these on the wrong thing? I feel like this. These guys are definitely on the wrong spots. I don't know how I thought they went there. There's like icons. I would swear I got it right, but I clearly didn't. Anywho, doesn't matter too much. Okay, so let's get some resources. Let's try to be smart and let's get some resources. Okay. Now it seems it behooves us to go harvest wood here, right? It's two spots. I don't think these guys are gonna end up taking it away, but we need wood and we need stone to make our huts. So we can either go get the crappy wood, or we can go get stone, or both. And we can save this one for later when we can get a little bit more from it. Try and do that. Who's harassing me though? Is it Martina? It is not. Okay, so let's send out a little expedition here. So we can go up to 2 distance. We can get to any of the tiles that we're near right now, and we could. We're gonna just run out of tools and stuff. Okay, we're dumb. We're grunts. We don't have much in the way of knowledge or anything, right? We're just here doing our best. We could send out a ton of tools. Like we could send one guy and some tools and make that work. But the problem with that is that then we're gonna run out of tools and then we're gonna die cold and alone. So I think we can maybe afford a tool. This is gonna let us get 3 wood, right? We're gonna send 2 guys and 1 tool. That gives us a mastery score of 3. 3 times 1 is 3. We'll bring back 3 wood. We could carry up to 4 because we have 2 dudes there. That seems not crazy. We need the wood. And then we probably need to go and get some stone, you know? Kind of need it. All right. So what the heck is that going to look like? We're going to run out of dudes. So our chieftain here, he counts as 2 for the purposes. Like if we just send him, we're going to bring back 2, right? Maybe that's what we do. Maybe we just go get 2 stone. Take a look at the costs. Let's try and be clever, I guess. If we wanted to, we could try and upgrade our tools. This seems like a real bottleneck that we're going to struggle with. And we have to take the action in order to like produce them. So tools we get now, we can only use to program next round. We kind of have to be a little bit ahead of the curve here. So if we want to upgrade our tools, we could put this guy here. We would need to pay 1 stone, and then we can pay a stone and a wood to get 4 more tools. So we need 2 stone and a wood. We're set up so that we can get 3 wood right now. And we need at least the 2 stone. Just sending the chieftain will get us 2 stone. We could send another dude, though, if we want. Or we could go hunt the small game that's there. I don't know. That's an option. When we hunt small game, we get fur and meat. And our shaman can't hunt a large game. That's okay. The shell spot, which got yoinked by the AI, jerk, would have given us some bone. We need bone to get our fur, our storage upgrade, which is going to be really super useful as well. So we kind of need everything, or we're going to die and starve cold and alone. So we're going to gather some wood. We're going to gather some stone. We're going to improve our tool making capacity. We could also improve our ability to travel, but I don't know how. We're not going to ever regret doing that, I guess. We move our village every round at the end, too, so maybe let's just send these guys hunting. We're just going to take as much off the map as we can. We can't hunt large game. If we did go hunt the horse, maybe we hunt the horse. Maybe we send our shaman into the forest, and we send these two dudes down here to hunt this this horse. We need at least a score of 2, which we have, and we'll get meat, fur, and bone. And these guys are going to steal that spot anyway, so this way we're not giving up resources to them. We'll get the stone we need, we'll get the wood we need, and we'll get some horse meat. Yummy. Okay, I think that's what we're gonna try. So that's our clever scheme. Okay. So then the next thing we do is we put out new terrain tiles onto the board. We basically grow this board with these tiles that I totally forgot to shuffle. So I'm going to shuffle them real quick before I actually do this, because otherwise we might get, like, 5 horses all side by side or something. I don't know. This game seems like Carcassonne and Frostpunk together. Yeah, agreed, kind of. Right? Here, James is the king of baby making. Well, whatever. Just, I like kids. 20k points for a compliment? Damn, your services don't come cheap. Well, listen, the whole idea there, Asan, is like, if I'm going to give you a compliment, I need to know you. You need to have been in stream enough for me to, have something legit to say about you. So it needs to be expensive so that I've had time to, like, develop a rapport, right? How else will I know what to say? I'll give you a sneak preview. If I was complimenting Asan, it would be about his dreamy voice. 100% chance. Bone comes with big game. Frostpunk gotta do what Frostpunk gotta do. Horse meat, it's what's for dinner. I like it. Frostpunk is the single, like, video game that I've enjoyed the most in, like, recent memory. And I have the board game version of it, and it actually hurts. I'm gonna do a video, like a long form video about it eventually here, because I have a number of board games based on video games. And they share a common theme where either they suck or they're like a one-to-one recreation of the video game, and then there's no compelling reason to play the board game instead. Like, I can play Frostpunk, the board game, and it's a super good like recreation of the video game. Very similar, but it's like 50 times harder to play because I have to, like, remember the rules and not make mistakes and all this stuff. I have to move physical components and whatever. And then the scale is kind of brought down a little bit. In that game, you're choosing between bad or worse all the time, right? And there's just sort of fewer opportunities to make those decisions and that sort of thing. And it's like, wow, this is really good, but I could play this and it's going to take me 6 hours, or I could play the video game and get a better experience, and I don't have to have any of the overhead of remembering anything, and I can do that in an hour, right? And I don't have to put it away after either, right? And it was less money. Like, there's just no good reason for it. But anyway, Frostpunk, amazing. Haven't played Frostpunk 2, scared to try. The hype was saying that it was different type of game, that the single thing that I liked most about Frostpunk they've ruined. So we'll see. Okay, finally got these tiles sorta shuffled. So what we do now is basically anywhere that we have stuff, dudes on the map, we're going to this map is going to expand orthogonally, right? So we send an expedition down here, which means that we're going to put out a tile here, and we're going to put one out down here. And then these guys also explore, so we'll put one here, here, and here. So basically, like, we significantly increased the size of the map. Now, we don't put out the animals yet. Any animals we discover don't go on the board just yet. I think it happens after they migrate. I don't know. There's some significance to it not happening now, though. You know, I wanted to forage for berries, and I'm seeing a real lack of berries on the tiles we're discovering. You know, we might be eating sticks for dinner, which you can do in Stone Age. Okay, well, that's feeling a little suboptimal. But that's okay. We're exploring. We're learning more about Doggerland. What could go wrong? What could go wrong? So we put out our terrain tiles, and then we resolve our actions in the order that we see fit, right? So we get to choose whether or not we like do gain rocks first, or wood, or whatever, right? And we have to pay any costs that show up now. So generally speaking, our expeditions don't have a cost, right? We're just going out, finding some resource, and bringing it back. If we're going in the winter, we have to pay furs, but it's summer right now, so we're good. So right here, we can resolve this one. So we gain 3 wood. We have 3 mastery times 1 wood displayed on the tile, so that's 3. And then we can carry up to 4, so we can bring all 3 of them back. So we got 3 wood. Okay, and the tools get discarded, and we put our workers like back in our hut. Or maybe we put them face down for now. Whatever, we're gonna put them back in our hut. Okay, and we're gonna resolve this one. Our chief counts as 2. So in fact, he will bring back 2 stone, because he's buff as hell. You know, and can just carry those boulders, 1 on each shoulder. No big deal. Okay. And our hunt for... oh, I took that tool back. I should have discarded it. Whoops. Anyways, our hunt for game here. I might have screwed that one up, but let's see. We needed a minimum of mastery of 2, okay? And then we get these 4 resources, and we have to be able to carry them. So if we had sent 1 guy and a tool, for instance, we would only gain 2 resources. We could bring back any 2, but not 4, obviously. So in this case, we get a meat, 2 fur, and a bone, and that's 4 resources, and we can carry 4. So we're fine. And then our final thing that we're going to do is down here, we're going to improve our tool making. So these can go both ways here, right? Don't read into that too much. We can spend a stone to upgrade our tech. And then we can spend a stone and a wood to get 4 tools. So we got a whole schwack of tools now for hunting or whatever in the future. And we've upgraded this so that we always have access to that. When we commit a guy here, we can either make tools or upgrade them, or both. It's up to us. But yeah, we've resolved our actions. Do we resolve? No, we resolve their shit now. So now the animals are going to migrate, and the opponent's tribes are going to migrate as well. So That's super irritating. I want to make sure I get this right because I know that there's a timing consideration here for when we put out the animals. Oh, they spawn at the end of the round. Okay, so they definitely don't spawn now. All right. So we always resolve these movements in order here. There's red, pink, and blue. Okay. We always do them in that order. So red, his meeple is going to move up 2 spots. So he's going to go 1, 2 up to here. And if we wanted 2 stone, well, too bad. That spot is exhausted now. And if he passes through any animals, he'll take those as well. The spots that he walks through that have resources, they don't immediately exhaust. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, large game gets immediately removed. But resources only when they stop there. Okay, so then the pink is going to move 3 to the left, and this like essentially loops around. So they're going to move like 1, 2. So oh, we took this. We actually already had taken that. What am I doing? I should have moved that into the collective memory. Okay, so they're going to move 1, 2, 3 over to here, and I hope we didn't want that stone either. And then this guy's going to move 4. 1, 2, 3, and he loops around. He skips over there, the spot that person's at, and he ends up back where he was, which is apparently legit. He's just not that bright. Okay. Okay, so then the animals will also migrate, but they're all dead. So there's not much to do there. But if there were like this, if this horse had been out, the yellow ones, the summer animals, migrate 2, and the winter ones only migrate 1 space. And what controls where they migrate is there's a little arrow on each respective tile here. And so if there was a horse on here, it would migrate 2, downward, basically, right? We killed all the animals, so whoopsie doodles. Okay, so now it's the end of the round, and we need to feed our tribe. So meat is worth 2 food, which is big, and it expires faster than these berries do, right? I'm not showing anyone what I thought I was. So we've got 3 meat and 3 berries. Berries are 1 food each. Meat are 2 food, but they're going to expire a little faster. So if we just pay our 3 meat, then that's the 6 food that we need, right? We have to fit our tribe members in the spots we have. That's why we couldn't make babies this round. We didn't have the resources necessary to build another habitat, so no baby making, right? In the event we can't feed our dudes, we need to take a scarcity marker. We get 3 of these, we lose the game. In the multiplayer game, I mean, you can do this in the solo game too, but when we're paying the programming cost, like a tool or something, we can take a scarcity marker instead. But if we've taken 3 over the course of the game, we lose. So we kind of don't want to do that, right? We would check objectives, but that doesn't matter. We'd advance the round tracker, but Martina lost it, so we don't have that. So we're going to use something else as a round tracker. We're just going to use this blue monolith to remind me that it was Martina that did it. It's now round 2. It's winter. Okay. So we're going to add any of the winter animals onto tiles here, right? And if there's already a meeple on it, we skip it. But that means that we put out this guy, this crazy, I don't know what the heck it's supposed to be. I wish it would tell me. super mega bison. I don't know. And then we flip out a new fresco tile, so we're gonna have more opportunities to paint. We might want to do this turn. We'll see. Okay, so there's reindeer and horses. In the multiplayer game, you want to try and get majority across rows. We don't care about that, but we know that one of the objectives that we're working on this game is to paint both summer and winter frescoes. So we might want to get on that now while there's some animals in the collective memory, right? Hey, what do you mean, hey? You did. You lost it. You lost it. It's true. Okay. So let's check that I'm not screwing something up because of the solo game here, because I know there's a couple differences. Okay, so the only other thing we need to do is move our village. So we can move our village up to up to 2 spots. I think we have to move it. I don't know, up to 2 spots. But I get the distinct impression we're always supposed to move it. Now, we can still harvest resources from the spot that our village is on, as far as I know. That's how we're going to play it. So, what do we need to do? We want to be able to go and we want to make babies this round, which means we're going to need to feed them afterward, right? So we could potentially move down here to where we can stock up on some resources now, and then animals are going to spawn here next round, right? Which would mean that we have an opportunity to go hunt them. That's not going to help us this round though, and we don't feed new tribe members the round they show up, but we do have to feed them starting next round. And we only have 3 food available, so that's going to be a problem. We could also go hunt small game. Small game, it works just like the other things. Like, this is a multiplier of meat and fur, basically. So we can get a lot from those small game tiles, actually, which would help us feed our family here. We do have to eat these slowly rotting berries, though. I don't know. We could also, like, it wouldn't be terrible to go hunt this this dude. We need 3 dudes and some tools. We can go on like some big ass expedition and you know, go fight and come back with a bunch of meat and stuff. That's an idea. It's actually a really good idea. It would take like our whole tribe though. Okay. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So, do we want to go fight the bison guy? I don't know. I don't know if our thing blocks the thing from spawning. We're just going to go on the reindeer spot. And then we're close to wood and stone. Still close to some small game over here. We're close to this bison dude. You know? Why not? All right. So that's the end of the round. And now we flip out the next card here. See what happens. A terrible storm has destroyed a habitat of your choice. Return it to the supply. Consider rebuilding it using the construct a habitat action. As usual, remember, you must house everyone or tribe members will die. Okay, well, I don't think, I mean, we have our like built-in ones that are worth 0 points, which I think are permanent. I don't think they can be destroyed. So I think we're gonna say we just ignore that event. Then they're going to go the solo mode thing there. It's going to discard all of the necklaces from the handicraft area. So all of these go away. We're not making any of these anytime ever. So whatever, we don't care. And this guy's gonna go on the paint to fresco thing, which we might have done this round. That sucks. And on the big monolith, megalith, whatever it is. Okay, so now we get to program out our actions. What the hell are we gonna do? We don't have any stone. So if we want to build a habitat and start cranking out babies, which then lets us do more stuff, right? We need stone. That, or we make the prestigious ones, but the problem with those is they only house one member, so they're kind of a waste of time. We really want the other ones. So I think probably we need to focus up. We're going to use the shaman's ability to make extra babies. I guess we can either get a habitat or we can go hunt this bison and not both. Okay, we're going to hunt the bison. We're going to get the stone. And we're going to do habitat baby making next round. Because the more tribe members we have, the more opportunities we have, of course, to go and do things. But like, there's very few spots where we can actually get food. They're just going to starve and die cold and alone. And we don't want that. So, what's our bison need? We need at least 3 people. The chieftain counts as 2. The shaman cannot hunt large game. So, we need at least these guys. Now, if we send them, the problem is our chieftain actually counts for 2 for the minimum requirement, but he still carries back the same as 1 guy. Right, and we actually are going to get a lot off of this to carry back. So we want to send lots of members. Like if we send 3 dudes out, that's not going to be enough. We need a minimum mastery of 6. That gets us a mastery of 3. We're going to have to send like each of them with a tool, for instance. Okay, that would get us the minimum of 6, and then we can bring back any 6 things. This thing provides us with a total of 9. So we're leaving something behind for sure. And we have to... Do we have to pay a fur to go on an expedition in the winter? I think we do. Let's double check here. Expedition always costs the tool plus 1 fur for the whole group in winter. We didn't pay our tool last time, so we'll get rid of that. And we'll have to pay a fur this time. So I guess the question is, do we want to actually spend 3 tools, or do we want to send a 4th person? Because if we send a 4th person, then we can bring back almost everything. We're leaving like a bone behind or something like that. But that means we have our chieftain and our shaman, and that's it for remaining workers, which kind of sucks. We need stone ridiculously badly. Okay, we're not going to do that. We're going to use the tool instead, because we're going to go get stone. We're going to use our shaman to upgrade our stone. That's going to cost us a bone and a fur. Okay, but then that's going to let us carry back 3 things per person, which means that these guys can actually bring back everything, as long as we do that upgrade first. Okay, and then we can send these guys, our chieftain and our 1 other worker, over here. They'll get 6 stone out of that, and we'll come back with a ton of stone, enough food to feed our family, Stone will be enough for us to actually build a habitat next turn, and we won't die cold and alone. Probably, I think. We're gonna try that. We're gonna try that. Okay, so the next thing we do is we put out tiles, right? So these guys all explore. We're exploring a lot over down here. Lots of game. We're just getting like the same. Oh my gosh. Nothing but more stone. We still haven't found a single thing that provides berries in the entire game. Like we get that from, or maybe there isn't actually a spot that shows berries. Maybe it's these provide meat and the shells provide berry. I think there is though. I don't know. I could be mistaken though. Well, we found the shells, so that's good. Found another spot for more reindeer close to our village. We like that. Okay, I'm gonna cheat and look. Are there actually things that... Oh, yeah, there totally are. Like, where is this? I want to forage for berries, damn it. Like, that's a ton of food. We just haven't found any. All right. So, we got those all out. Now we get to resolve our actions. And then the dudes migrate. So we know the action we're going to resolve first is this one here. We're going to spend a bone and a fur to upgrade our ability to carry stuff. So we've learned new methods. We invented the shopping bag. Wheelbarrow, I don't know. Something. You might think that you would need wood to make babies rather than stone. Oh my god, Allison, that is not funny. To be clear, we also need wood for it, but anywho. Okay, so we're gonna, over here, we have a mastery of 1, 2, 3. So 3 times 2 means we can get up to 6 stone from this location, and our guys can each carry 3 now. So we will in fact get 6 stone. It's huge. We really need it. Okay, and then our final expedition over here, we've got these 3 dudes. So that's 1, 2, 3 mastery, 4, 5, 6 from the tools that we used. Okay, so these tools just get discarded. And we end up adding this bison to our collective memory. Okay, I think he goes into the most recent spot. That would make sense. And then we can get the resources shown here, and we can carry up to 9, it turns out. So we can get all of this, because we can carry 3 each per dude. We sent 3 guys. So we get 4 meat. We get 3 furs. And we get 2 bone. Nice. And with that, we've done all of our actions on the board. So now the animals are going to migrate, and these guys are going to migrate. Our enemies will migrate first, followed by the animals. Of course, all the animals are dead again. We killed them all. So, whoops. But anywho, the red guy always moves first. He's going to move 3, 1, 2, 3 to here, which means he's going to immediately kill that animal when it spawns, which sucks. Okay. The pink guy is going to move 2, 1, 2. We don't care about that. It was exhausted anyway. And the blue guy is going to move 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this wild game is not available. Oh, these are stuck together. Okay, animals would migrate. There aren't any. Sucks to suck. So we got to feed our tribe. This is our food down here. Okay, we need 6. I think we're gonna use up some of these old expiring berries. We're going to pay 2 meat and 2 berries. It kind of doesn't really matter because they're all going to be in the must-use zone next turn. We have 5 food remaining, which is not quite enough to feed our tribe next turn, but we'll figure that out. We'll figure that out. So we feed them and these age. Okay. We could check our objective tiles. We're nowhere close to doing any of the objectives. We do not care. Okay. It is the next round. So it's a summertime round because we play 8. And it alternates each time. So we're going to add meeples onto the summertime spots. I'm not sure if it spawns where our camp is. Oh, we never moved our camp. Because we should have done that at the end of the round. In fact, we could have moved it like there. That kind of solves that for us. Okay, so a reindeer is going to show up. Another one's going to show up. A horse is going to show up down here. And this horse would show up there, but it just immediately dies. It gets ambushed by the tribe that's there. The handicraft area gets refilled. I think they're just going to constantly ruin all of these, and we're never going to do any of them, basically. And that's fine. Oh, we move our village now, actually. That's why I hadn't done it. Okay, so I do need to know whether the village thing... I have the camera at the wrong spot. That sucks, pro streamer. Okay, they only don't spawn if there's a animal already there. So we'll just stay where we're at. It gives us lots of opportunity to hunt, because we're going to need tons of meat, because we're going to have a huge family after all the baby making we do. All right, next round. So, what's our friends going to do? What's going to happen here? You notice a favorable sight from a good vantage point. At the beginning of phase 2, reveal terrain tiles. Did I do that at the wrong time? No. Anyways, at the beginning of phase 2, reveal terrain tiles. Draw 3 tiles, choose one, and put it on any space to be discovered. Discard the other 2. Okay, cool. And they're going to get rid of all of the things over here. All the little statues, because they're jerks and don't want us to make any handicrafts. And they're going to block a couple of spots here. They're going to block the move our thing a second time and the trading spot. Why is the icon different for that? Weird. That's okay. They didn't block the baby making spot, and that's the only one we care about. So we're happy. Happy. Always wood jokes. It's true. It's true. I often have the sense of humor of a 12-year-old. You said sense of humor of a 12-year-old, and it reminded me of the other person I know with the sense of humor of a 12-year-old, Heavy Tech Mech, who's probably still in chat. Because he's been recently, I suggested to him that he play through Mass Effect. And he's been playing Mass Effect, and one of the things you do is, like, you know, exploring the solar system, right, the universe, and you can, like, launch a probe to you know, explore various planets. And I had forgotten about this guy. I haven't played Mass Effect in a number of years, but he launched a probe to Uranus, and apparently there's quite a funny voice line where the AI on the ship is really disappointed, but proceeds to probe Uranus. So, anyhow, speaking of 12-year-old boy humor, I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, exactly. You totally don't know. Totally don't know. Okay. So, let's we got to make babies. We got to make some babies. We need to build a hut. We know we need to make a hut. We probably need to make more tools because we're going to run out otherwise. It's summertime. We pay 1 tool as our programming cost for going over to this spot here. Okay, we have only 1 tool left. We will die and starve cold and alone if we don't get more tools. Okay, so we know we need more tools. We also need food. This game is punishing. Okay, we have enough bone and stone to get better tools, so that's really fortuitous.
Drink something.
All right, I'll have a drink. That's a great game because of the humor, or just like you've played it. Mass Effect, the whole series is excellent. Mass Effect Andromeda lost the magic bad, but the first 3 are exceptional games. Okay, so we're gonna max out our tools here. That's good. We're gonna build a hut over here. We got the wood and stone we need. If we send our chieftain, we can not pay the wood. We don't have a ton of wood. That might be worth doing. But we might need our chieftain to like go hunt or something. He can go kill a deer on his own as long as we send a tool with him, which we won't have because we only have 1 tool. And we need, I guess we pay that cost at the time. Yeah, okay, so maybe we could do that. No, we couldn't. Never mind. Okay, so we don't need stone. We're making a hut. We need to make babies. Okay, now what I wanted to do was make lots and lots and lots of babies. But I don't think we can. Because we can't send everybody to the baby making hut all at the same time. There's some problems there. Okay. But what we can do is we can invoke a twin birth. Place 2 new hunter-gatherers from your supply on this space for your tribe board. Oh, so we just get them? Okay, so we're going to send our shaman into the baby making hut with this lucky tribes member, and as a result we're gonna end up with twins because the shaman's got magic twin baby making powers. Okay, so we end up with twins and we don't have to feed them this round. Now we could send the chief and this other tribes member in to make another baby, but then the problem of course with that is that then we will starve. So we don't like starving. So we're just going to get our magical mystical twins. We're not going to think about that too much. And we're going to send these guys, I think, maybe to go hunt. It doesn't get us a ton of food, but it gets us enough. Because we either send them to go hunt, or we are close enough that we could go to this spot with the shells. The shells gets us bone and berries, which is less good than we don't. Yeah, let's just go kill a reindeer. I'm sorry, reindeer, and we want to explore more. So we're gonna go up to this one over here. So we're gonna send an expedition with those 2 guys up to this spot over here. They have a mastery of 3, which is enough to hunt the reindeer without sending any tools. And they can bring home 6 things, which is enough to bring home everything we get from it. So I think we get enough food to not starve. Our magic baby making hut gets us a set of twins that we're going to put out in the fields working 6 months old in the winter. And we're going to get and make some better tools so that we have tools for next season. We do have to pay this tool for that expedition we just sent, though. So, I think we're good. So now we do the exploration phase. Now, we do get to do the special event thing here. So one of the tiles, we get to draw 3 and pick one. So why don't we start with that one? Delivery by Stork Shaman. There you go. Taxi was finishing up today, but it's been a blast so far. Oh, I'm glad you've been having fun. That's awesome. I didn't know you were at PAX. I feel like I should have known, but... I'm getting a ton of messages. Deal with those later. Okay, we're going to take a look at 3 tiles. We're going to pick one. Oh, we found the lucrative berry tile. We are going to need a lot of food. So if we put this out, we can harvest at most 9 berries from this tile, and we would be able to do that now. And they last for 2 rounds. That's enough to feed our entire family for 2 rounds, or for a round rather, with a little bit left over, because we're going to need 8 next round. So let's take the berry tile, and we can just discard these other 2. And then we're going to continue putting tiles out where we're exploring. Our exploration is definitely slowing down now. You know, these AI guys aren't necessarily always on a spot where they can explore. In fact, very rarely. And we only sent out 1 expedition because we were otherwise occupied. So that's all the exploration we're going to do. Oh, this spot too. More wood. That's actually handy. We need, that's the resource we have the least of. So we're going to resolve our actions here. We'll take our shaman off. We get our 2 new tribes members. Strictly speaking, we probably shouldn't have done that in that order, but it's okay. We're going to pay to make another hut here. So we're going to pay a rock and a wood. And that gives us space for 3 additional tribes members. So we're fine. What was this guy? We're going to upgrade our tools. So we're going to pay 1 rock to upgrade them, and 1 bone and one bone and 1 stone in order to gain 5 additional tools. So our tools are fully upgraded, which is one of the conditions that we're trying to meet here. We need all of our tech fully upgraded. So we're a couple steps away from that yet. We probably got to start thinking about that because it's going to take multiple rounds to do. We also haven't added anything to the fresco. We're close to 10 tribes members. We only need to achieve 4 of these. So it's looking okay still. And then our expedition over here. This is a mastery score of 3, so it's enough to hunt this reindeer. Which means that our friendly little reindeer friend gets us 2 meat, 3 fur, and a bone. 2 meat, 3 fur, and a bone. Okay. So, this is a weird setup where we actually have to migrate the animals because they exist. That hasn't happened before. So, let's do that. So the animals migrate first. They migrate 2 spaces based on the arrow shown. So this guy's gonna, well, we are supposed to do these in a particular order. I think actually I was supposed to move this one here. So left to right, basically. So this guy's gonna go first. So he would migrate to here, but I think if he crosses the path of that, he dies immediately. So let's see. Oh wait, they migrate first. Animals go second. My mistake. Okay, this guy migrates 2 down. 1, 2, and those rocks are gone. The pink guy migrates 4 up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this horse super dead. Because there's already 5 animals in our collective memory here. we're going to remove the rightmost animal. That's this one, this reindeer. Okay. And that's it. This was an extremely long-winded way of saying we remove this one. That's it. Okay. I regret reading the rules. Okay, and then the blue guy is going to migrate 3 to the right. 1, 2, 3. And then that one reindeer is going to migrate. So if it crosses a thing, it immediately dies. So he's going to migrate down, gets ambushed, dies. Sorry, friendly reindeer. There's no animals left on the board, which is a little unfortunate. But we are well set up here in our collective memory to use our shaman power, where we can paint the fresco twice. We can actually paint it 3 times, but the shaman specifically is twice of the same animal, and they need to be in the collective memory, which they are. So we could do summer animals and work towards this goal and almost get it on this next round if we can commit that round to painting, basically. It feels like we have to have 1 focus per round, at least with the number of tribes members that we have. So, is the end of the round. We got to feed our tribe. These food are going to expire no matter what. We don't have to feed the babies this round, so we only still need to feed 6. Unfortunately, that means we overspend and we end up spending 7. So we huck to the babies a little bit of meat, I guess. We haven't completed any of the objectives. It's now winter. Round 4, we're halfway through the game, or about to be at the end of the next round, I guess. We're gonna spawn some winter animals. These the only ones? Think so. Okay. We flip out a new fresco tile. And we refill the handicraft area. We're never doing these. We don't care. We have to move our village. It says here actually that moving our village is optional, so it kind of clarified that. Nice. We know we want to get these berries, I think, because that's then they last a while. What else do we need? We need wood, so I think we can move it up to 2. 1, 2. Then we're close to the wood. We're close to the berries. That's probably pretty good for us. And that means it's the next round. Let's see what we get here. Last night, a wild animal came to scavenge from your food supply. Discard 1 meat if possible. Otherwise, 2 fruits. Otherwise, 1 bone. Jesus. Okay, well, we discarded a meat. So we have no food. And unfortunately for us, the AI is going to screw everything up because it's going to paint the stupid fresco. Wow, okay, so like that actually completely screwed this. These are like almost unachievable unless we like aggressively do them. Like I think we should just focus now on all the other ones because we could paint the fresco, but instead it says paint all possible spaces matching animal meeples in the correct collective memory. So all possible means we now went from there's 5 things in our collective memory to there's 0. And we actually can't do anything. So unless we're prepared to hunt and paint on the same turn, which feels like we don't have the bandwidth for it, we're kind of screwed. We put out, there's 2 reindeer, there's 2 horses, And there's one of these bison guys. Oh, not that. That. And all of these are gone. And we just forgot everything that's ever happened to us. The memories appeared in the cave on the wall. Allison snuck in, painted, and we got no credit for it, and we're sad. All right. So we have no food. We've forgotten where we are and why we're here. But we do have 8 members of our tribe. So, that's good. That's good. Are you sad, though? You know. I'm not dying cold and alone, so things are looking okay. All right, so we know that we want to get some berries here, or maybe hunt. Like, we're going to need 8 food every round. Meat is 2, so the big bison-y dude gives us 4 meat. That's enough. So this space gives us enough for 1 round, and this space gives us enough for 1 round. It's super punishing where we don't really have like the bandwidth to get like a surplus of food. We're gonna starve and die cold and alone, it turns out. Other things we need to do. We really want to... Well, I think I was supposed to pay a fur when I used the shaman down here. Whoops. Anyways, other things we need to do. We need to build more places for our dudes to live. Even if we're not filling them with people right now, that's one of the objectives that we probably need to achieve, right? So I'm like... These 2 are going to be really hard to do. Painting the fresco. We have to hunt and paint and not starve. These are going to be really hard. We need to achieve 4 objectives, okay? These ones require just a bunch of resources, like a ton. So this is super hard. We need a big surplus of resources to do these. But we only have to build any 2 of them, so we can at least pay for the cheaper ones, right? Those are the monoliths down here. They're currently blocked except for the most expensive, so we're probably not building a megalith this round. Okay, that's one of our shaman's actions, and yeah, and it costs like 2 wood, 2 stone, and 2 tools, and 3 wood, stone, and tools, and 4 of each. That's gonna be expensive and difficult to do. Okay, there's this one, which is max out all of our technology. We already have tools done, and we kind of want to do the other ones anyway. It gives us more flexibility and helps us kind of get more resources off the board anyhow. So that's not terrible. And 10 members of our tribe. We're at 8. So we can achieve that. Have 6 huts. I think that's going to be easier to do than either of these 2. So we're probably going to focus on those. So I think let's try and get some food this round. And maybe increase one of our technologies or something like that. And see what happens here. So if we're foraging for berries, we want to send 3 people to do it. That's going to get us 9 berries back. Berries last 2 rounds. So that gives us, we need 8 right now per round for feeding. So that gives us a round worth of food, and we don't even have to use it now. We could use it next time, or even the time after that. If we want to hunt this dude, we need a mastery score of at least 6. Okay, and every time we send out an expedition, like the berries, that cost us a tool. Another tool to go on an expedition. Actually, we have to pay a fur as well. A tool and a fur to go on an expedition to hunt this bison. And we need a mastery score of at least 6. Okay? If we send 3 dudes there, that's a mastery score of 3. But they can bring back everything. So we have to choose, do we want to pay tools for the rest of it? That means we're out of tools, which is kind of rough. Or do we want to, like, we could send our chieftain. Our chieftain counts as 2 mastery. Okay, so that's 4 mastery, and then we only pay 2 tools. That gives us 6 mastery that we need in order to do that. And we still have enough 3 guys there that each can carry 3 things. They can bring everything home. Okay. And that leaves us with 2 dudes, our shaman, who could do anything but hunt for large game, and our other gatherer here, who can also do anything. So they could go make a baby. They could make that 9th baby. That's an option. Get us closer to the 10 that we need. Alternatively, we could get some upgrades here. We could spend our last wood to get an upgrade so we can move a little further. Or we could simply send these guys out into the forest and they could come home with some wood. It'd be nice if we used these spots to get like the most amount of wood possible, rather than, I guess we could send them and send them with an axe. We could send them like this. We could do that. Oh, it costs us our axe to go on the expedition though. So never mind. We can't do that. All right. What do we do? Do we learn to travel further and to store more stuff, or do we just make a baby? Literally how I feel playing Robinson Crusoe. It's true. Honestly, we played Robinson Crusoe recently, and I hadn't played it in a while, since like a year or 2 after the original edition had released. But I'd kickstarted the collector's edition, and we played it fairly recently. My daughter and I are playing all the games in the top 100, and I didn't love it. It was more punishing than I remember, and like in a way that I didn't find satisfying. Also, I think Opcost, you should do a meta when it says you're sad. You need to swap to unconscious mind and psychoanalyze that. How does that really make you feel? That's an option. It's funny, we often joke, we used to play Eclipse a lot, and we'd said that every time we'd play Eclipse, that when there was a fight, we'd like settle the fight by playing a game of Blood Rage, right? So just instead of actually using the Eclipse units. We never did that because I was psychotic and would take all day, take multiple days, but it was always kind of a fun little meta joke. Okay, do we make a baby? We're making a baby. We know that that's the right move. We're investing in our tribe. We have space for one more baby. We don't have to feed him this round. This is the move. Okay. So we get to discover tiles now. Which I don't think the tile discovery loops around the board, but I wonder if it does. I just learned that it doesn't cost me to program for an expedition, so I'm taking my 2 tools back. But I do have to pay a fur. Anywho, what the hell was I looking up here? Oh, does it loop around when we're putting out terrain tiles? It doesn't say, so I'm going to go with no. All right, so we're discovering terrain tiles over here. What do we got? These ones. Discover one down here as well. More berries. And then we discover 3 more up here. Less berries. Fewer berries. And more shells. Alright, I guess my shuffling was not very good. Okay, so we get to resolve our actions now. Yeah, someone said online there's so many Star Wars games that when you play Star Wars Imperial Assault, there's a space battle, you swap to X-Wing, there's an actual battle, you swap to Star Wars Legion. Exactly like that. Exactly. Same idea. I feel like that would be horrible to actually experience and practice, but it's a funny idea. Okay, so we get to resolve our actions now. We're gonna take this baby we made, and we're gonna hold it up proudly, you know, like Simba and the Lion King. You know, the shaman is displaying the baby. This time the twin magic didn't work, despite the shaman being involved, and we only got 1 baby, but we're still proud. Okay, we're gonna go on our expedition over here, and we're gonna collect 9 berries because we get 3 mastery times the 3 berries on the spot, and each of our guys knows how. We invented baskets, and they each know how to bring back 3. I don't know if we can actually fit 9 in here. What do we got? 7, 8, 9. Cool. And then these guys are going to hunt this bison. They're going to use a couple of tools to do it. There's 6 mastery there. Calling it a bison, I don't know what it actually is. We probably should have painted the fresco immediately. Oh, there's not a space to do it, so never mind. Doesn't matter. But this guy drops 4 meat, 3 furs, and 2 bone. So huge influx of resources here. We actually have enough food now for next round as well, which is pretty big. How many bone was it? 2 bone. 2 bone. Okay, so we're looking a little shy on wood and stone. We need stone and bone for our tools now, so that's okay. But we probably need to fix this and start building some huts. We can build as many huts as we want per round, but we have to commit an extra guy every time we do it. And fur in the winter. Then we have tons of fur, so that's not really a huge problem. We can also trade this using our shaman, maybe the 2-to-1 trade. We have kind of an abundance of fur. That might be an option. But anyway, we've resolved all of our stuff. So now our friends on the board are going to migrate, and then animals are going to migrate. So this guy's going to go 1, 2. This spot is now exhausted. Okay. Pink one is going to go 1. Skips that spot. So 1, 2, 3, 4. He ends up back where he was. This happened kind of a couple of times. And the blue guy is going to go 3 to the right. And he's just been walking in this line of exhausted territories and really hasn't done a whole hell of a lot. Now animals will migrate. So the winter animals only move 1. So this guy will move to there. And now we can feed our tribe. So we're going to use up all this meat. The meat doesn't keep as long. That's 8, 9. Oh, wait. We only need 8. The baby doesn't eat yet. Okay. We haven't achieved any of the objectives. It is now the 5th round. We're just past the halfway mark. It is now sunny. So we're going to spawn a bunch more animals as our, knowledge of the map grows. So too does our opportunities to hunt. So that's cool. This horse down here gets immediately ambushed by the pink tribe. But there's quite a few out on the map. We got some options. They don't give us a ton of meat though. The horses, horse meat, we only get 1. That's really probably not worth it at this point, unless we send out a bunch of expeditions or something. We can refill this, that doesn't matter. We flip a new tile, fresco tile. There's more painting spaces available, including that bison spot. So maybe now's the time to finally paint. We would have to, if we want to achieve this objective, we need 3 winter paintings or 4 summer paintings. The only winter paintings that are available other than that one bison are mammoths, and we haven't actually found one yet. So the idea that we can hunt one and paint about it before the end of the game feels perhaps unlikely. I don't know. We'll see. But we can move our village optionally. So, oh, hey, you know what? I forgot. We took resources from this. It is now gone. There's no more berries there. Do we want to move our village? So we can get food and bone from here. I don't know if we need the bone. We do need food, but we're kind of like hunting the deer is easy. We can send our chieftain or 2 tribes members and it gets us 4 food. So it's a net gain overall. So being close to the deer is not a horrible thing. We're like standing on one. We can't currently get to this one though. Maybe let's just move our tribe to here, because then we have access to lots of wood still, which we need, as well as both of these deer. That makes sense. Those are good ideas. That's a thing. It would take so long. I'd try it and probably end after 2 games. I'd be down to try that, like something like that, just one time for shits. Like just, you know, but you'd have to like literally have a weekend with no obligations and a group of people who are really into it, you know? All right. So let's see what our solo friends are going to do. Oh, they're going to paint the fresco. Okay, so achieving these objectives feels literally impossible. And we have to achieve 4 objectives in order to win. And 2 of them are the fresco ones. We've picked these from a pile of like 20 or 11 or something. I don't know. So we kind of got like our butts kicked by RNG here. We basically just have to do these other 4. So a horse and a bison-y thing get painted up on the fresco. And we no longer can paint. Sucks to suck. You find stones while digging near your village. Add 2 stones to your supply. That part is fine. These guys are going to block the double paint the fresco as if that would be possible. That's actually a really weird thing to put on this because, like, yeah, I guess it's strictly speaking achievable, but odd. They're also going to block our ability to trade goods. That's unfortunate, but that's okay. That's okay. We will find a way. We got 9 members of our tribe now. It is summertime, which means we don't have to pay additional resources in order to build huts. So that would be a great thing to do now. We have enough food where we don't actually need to go get any more. Like we could get 0 this round and we'd be fine. We also have a ton of basically every type of resource. So now would be a really good time for us to do some upgrades, I think. So it costs us our last wood in order to be able to upgrade this. We can't do these multiple times per round. Also, if we want to build huts, we need to get all 6 by the end of the game. And we need to do these. We just need all of the resources. Like, I think we're going to lose, is what this feels like. But perhaps not. We'll try here. So our guys can carry up to 3 resources each. So we could send 2 dudes and a tool over here, and that will get us as much wood as possible. That'll get us 6 from that spot, which is pretty huge. Okay. We're going to spend one of them upgrading. This upgrade, I mean, I guess this would be nice to have. We could send one guy and a tool and get 4 resources. which is sort of weirdly efficient from a worker perspective, but inefficient from a tile perspective. So I don't know whether that's actually good or bad to do. But we'll see. Okay. If we send our chieftain to make the hut, we pay an axe, a tool to program that, but we don't have to pay a wood then. We're just paying a stone for the hut, which is pretty cool. We're definitely going to need more tools, so we're going to have to pay a bone and a stone over here. See, that'll get us 5 more tools. We could build an additional hut, but I feel like that is probably aggressive. We could send our shaman to do one of these. What do we need? 2 of every resource. Probably let's get that out of the way. We'll have the stone, we'll have the wood, we'll have the tools once we've done this. And that means we have 3 dudes left, which we could either send hunting, or we could do our upgrade. What's our upgrade cost? Bone and fur. So then we would have no... Well, we don't need bone for these. Okay, so what if I do this upgrade? It's going to cost me a bone and 2 fur. And I can either go get that last baby, or I can start to get some food so that we don't die, starve, cold and alone next turn. Let's not starve. Let's not starve. This deer is going to walk down onto this other guy and die, more than likely, or he's gonna find a way. If we send 2 guys to hunt him, we need to also send a tool, because we need a minimum of 3 mastery, but we can bring back all the resources. All right, I think we're gonna be basically out of tools again, because we're gonna end up spending couple here. We're gonna be low on them, but it's okay. It's okay. Okay, so we get to explore first. So we get to add tiles down here. Do we find a mammoth ever in the whole game? Is becoming a question I really wonder about. And we're gonna put one up there too. Okay. At least so far we did not. So now we get to resolve our actions. So let's do this. We're going to pay a bone and a stone for 5 tools. And we're going to pay a stone, and we don't pay the wood because we used our chieftain. So we're just going to pay a stone to get a habitat. We're going to get the basic one because we just want living spaces. Maybe these ones are actually easier from a resource perspective for later once we can keep 12 people now. So, you know, lots of space. We are going to go over to the map here, our expeditions. So this expedition here, we got 3 mastery, 2 guys and a tool. So 3 mastery times the 2 wood is 6 wood. They can each carry 3. They're going to bring back all 6. We can resolve these things down here. We're going to spend one of those wood to get the ability to move a little further. And we're going to spend a bone and 2 fur to be able to carry more stuff, which didn't matter so far, but that's okay. And then our final expedition over here, we're gonna hack up this deer, this reindeer, gorgeous reindeer. Sorry, buddy. And he's going to go into our collective memory down here at the bottom of the board. And we're going to gain 2 meat, 3 fur, and a bone. Yeah, we are way over-indexed on fur for sure. And then our final action is our shaman action down here, where we're building one of the little megalith things, which I think we get to choose a spot that we build it on, and then it kind of like claims that for us. But we have to pay 2 stone, 2 wood, and 2 tools. So good thing we discovered that extra stone, or we wouldn't have been able to do it. And that lets us put one of these out on the map. I think it basically kind of protects a spot. We claim that spot, and it's not. I think I was supposed to put the shaman out on the map where it was supposed to be built, actually, and I just a shaman token, but I didn't do that. It's fine. Has to be within reach of our village, and it can go on the same tile. Opposing tribes can no longer visit this tile. It is yours. Okay, so this would be a great time for us to, like, you know, reserve a tile that we're going to need or something like that. Has to be within range of our village. I think right now we are really hard up for stone. We know we're going to need some in order to erect the other megalith. So let's put this on the 2 stone tile here, just so that the AI doesn't end up yoinking it somehow. Because, like, is that the only place to get stone left on the map? I think it is. So the only other option we would have is trading. Yikes. Okay, so we've resolved all of our actions, I think. Do we have all of our guys back? Yes, our 9. We didn't make another baby yet. So these guys are going to migrate. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to do some exploration down there. 1, 2, 3. Haha, I think he skips over it and goes there. Good thing we did that. And 1, 2, he's going to kill this bison. What a dick. And he's going to hunt this game. What a jerk. Okay, so then animals are going to migrate. That guy's not going to move anywhere. These guys move 2 each. Because they're summer animals. And then we got to feed our tribe. So we're going to feed them berries because we want to make some space here. Doesn't really make a big difference either way. There's 9, which is how many we need. These are going to age. We'll have to spend them next round, but we're going to need at least 9, and we only got enough food for 4. We haven't done any of the objectives because we actually suck at this game, but we are really close. We do have one of the 2 megaliths, so we're half done this. We're 1 tech away from this, a wood and a stone away from being able to get this one. We're 1 baby making adventure away from doing this one, and we just got to build 2 more huts. So this looks perhaps achievable. Now, this is extremely expensive, 3 of every resource, basically, including tools, which is probably the hardest part. Tools and stone are really not in a great place right now, but we'll figure that out. Okay, it's now round 6. We had the final spot on the fresco, and we spawn winter animals. We still have not ever seen one of these elusive. They give us 7 mammoth tiles or meeples, and we haven't even seen one. So disappointing. They also give us like tons of food, 6 meat, but as far as we know, they don't exist. They're a myth. Okay, we can move our village up to 2 spots. We can get to this spot from where we're at. We also need wood. There's wood up here, but there's also wood down here. I feel like moving this way and doing some additional exploration would be really useful for us. So maybe let's just move our village one over, because then this lets us get to our stone spot and the wood and this deer that we're just snuggling. And that means it's next round. Thanks for that follow. Appreciate you. All right, so we're going to draw a event card here. Your tribe encounters a lone hunter-gatherer. You can welcome him by offering 1 meat and 1 fur, and then add 1 hunter-gatherer to your tribe from your reserve, if you have any left. He follows the same rules as the other and counts as a tribe member from now on. So, basically, we can save a baby making action and qualify for this objective by paying a meat and a fur. We have an abundance of extra fur. We don't really have any food extra, but I think that's worth it. We could still take the baby making action if we think it's going to be useful. I think it'll actually hurt us more than anything. It is hard to feel like we have a surplus of food. I wonder if it would have made sense to move our... I guess we can't move there. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Okay. Let's do that, though. We get 1 extra guy. They're going to paint the fresco, because of course they are. The fresco objectives feel literally impossible to do. So I guess there's actually not a space to paint this one. We don't even have to bother putting them in our collective memory anymore. And a reindeer. So done. And they are going to block the move your village, which could have been really interesting for us this time, and the number 1 megalith, which we're already done. So I don't think we care. Okay. What the heck are we going to do? We need food. We need food bad, and we need stone really bad. So our guys can bring back 4 each. So we could do something crazy like send, 2 guys and a tool, and they'll bring it all back. The most we can get from this stone spot is 6. The limit on how many guys we can send to any resource location is 3, and that person counts as 1. Tool counts as 1 as well. Because we can carry more efficiently now, we don't actually need to send people, but getting these tools is actually really hard. I think we actually have more people than tools, really. So probably we're going to end up sending 3 guys there. This is the only spot that we can gain stone on the board. So we have to get the most from it. Oh, wait, there's this one too. Okay. Well, that's good. That's really good, actually. So let's think this out here. Can we do this round? Maybe, but probably not. We need to go get stone. We need to spend stone and bone to get more tools for sure. We have enough tools here that if we get stone, which we are going to get, that we can we will have enough to build this other thing. And then we'll qualify for our second objective. This one is not done. This one's done. This one can be done this turn. And it will be cheaper for us to finish the building the houses one next round. But I don't know. I have no idea what we ever use these guys for either. I think they come up in events or something maybe, but they haven't so far. So stone we've got. We have to be really careful with... We need stone for lots of things, so we probably want to go get some more. I think this guy's going to end up screwing that up, so we probably want to take that while it's available. If we send our chieftain there, he gets 4 stone and can just bring it all back. If we send one more guy, then we get 6 and can bring it back. But this would get us 10 stone. But there's nowhere else on the map to get it. We would have to use our shaman action to trade for it. It's the only thing we could do. Is 10 enough, or do I need to commit another guy? I don't know. We'll assume we're going to take 10. And then we still need to eat. We haven't figured out how we're going to eat yet. So, hunting this guy sounds really good, because that gets us 4 meat. That would give us enough food so that we're done for this round. We're in the clear. That gives us 8 food worth, and we have 2 already, and we need 10. So, in order to hunt that guy, we have to send at least 3 dudes, but we need a mastery of at least 6. So we're either sending like more guys or spending tools, which we don't have a bunch of extra of. This feels like a real bottleneck, actually. It makes hunting really challenging, but we can't produce them faster. I think we can only do this once every time we redeem it. The making of tools. I think we can do each action one time. I think. You cannot fabricate more than once per round. Damn. So yeah, we feel really action limited there, I think. Okay, so we can't hunt with our shaman. We can't hunt for large game. But we could send these 4 guys out. The alternative, we could just hunt this reindeer that's just hanging out here. That would only get us, we'd be 4 food short. Which either people are going to die, or we have to find that other 4 food somewhere. Now, we could get the 4 food from the berries up here. That's an option. Maybe this is easier. We just send... We still need 3 to hunt the reindeer, which sucks. 3 mastery. Okay. Let's send these 4 guys and 2 tools. That's the 6 mastery we need to go hunt there. And then we can send our shaman and 1 tool up here. That's 1, 2, 3 spaces away. That will get us 4 berries, which the shaman can carry. And we'll have a little bit of surplus for next round, basically, so we're not totally desperate. Or we greed and send our shaman here so that we can get this finished. Are we going to have the stone? We're going to have 10 stone. So we have our 3 we need. We have the wood we need, and we're getting tools. Let's do that one. We'll do the shaman action while it's not covered up. This is hard. It turns out trying to not die of starvation, cold and alone, is difficult. All right. So, I think we're done. I think we just gotta resolve our actions here. So, let's do it. Where do we start? We're gonna spend our stone and bone to make 5 tools. That guy's done. We're gonna do this expedition. So this expedition gets us 6 stone back. The most we can get out of that spot. And then that spot's exhausted now. Built that cool monolith there as a testament to all the stone we took to build the monolith. Okay, and then this spot over here, this guy counts as 2, so it's 2 times 2. He can get 4 stone, and that's as much as he can carry as well. So he also brings back stone. 4. And then that spot is also exhausted. Okay. These guys do their big hunt. There's 4 of them. They can carry 16 back, so they can carry everything. Tools are gone. This guy's dead. It doesn't matter because we can't paint the fresco anyway, so we just forget he ever existed. But he gets us 4 meat, which is what we need to feed our family here. 3 furs. And 2 bone. And it is, of course, winter, and I forgot. We sent out 2 different expeditions that would have paid fur, but I don't think I paid it. I'm going to put it back now. And then our final action is our shaman down here. So our shaman, we are going to spend 3 stone, 3 wood, and 3 tools. I think my music might have run out. And with that, we get to build our other megalith here. So we can put this on any space and basically claim that space as ours. I don't know. Maybe we'll claim this one because then a dude's going to spawn there this round. Or no, next round. Well, I don't know. I don't know if we have the bandwidth to hunt. We talked about exploring this way. We never did that. Also, I skipped a step. I started resolving these actions, but I was supposed to put tiles out first. Whoops. Let's just retcon that. Because there's actually some exploration happening. Oh my god, it's a mammoth. We've never seen one. Another one. Apparently I just did the crappiest job shuffling. And these all got put at the bottom. Did we have an expedition up here that would explore? No, we did not. So, anyway. But I would have put those out first, which means that I could put this thing here and claim that, because that's a great way to get us enough food to make it through a round. Okay. We've done all of our actions. So now these guys are going to move, and then our animals are going to move. So red moves first. He's going to move 1, 2, 3. That spot's exhausted. In deeply disappointing territory, pink is going to move 1, 2 and just camp out on that mammoth. If it spawned, which it's not going to spawn this turn anyway, but he would kill it. So that sucks. And then our blue guy is going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, right back to where he was. He's just going to continue hanging. He has been positively worthless. But that's okay. And then the animals are going to migrate. So this guy's going to migrate 2 downward. This guy's going to migrate 2 upward, which means he dies. And this guy just kind of sits there foolishly. Okay. We're going to feed our tribe. We have to pay our 5 meat. That's 10 food worth to feed our tribe. We're going to check objectives. We have the 10 people objective. And we have the 2 megaliths. So we have to achieve 4 of these in order to win the game. We have abandoned these fresco painting ones. So in order for us to win, we need to upgrade this, which costs us a wood and a stone. So very achievable. And we need to build 2 more huts, which is actually going to be surprisingly difficult, but probably manageable. We definitely need to go harvest some wood this coming turn. And we have literally no food. So that's a thing too. But that's okay. It is now summer, round 7, second to last round. We're going to spawn some animals. So lots of reindeer, a horse. That's it. Maybe we can hunt a mammoth before the end of the game at the end of next turn. We'll see. And we can move our village up to 2 spots. What do we need to do? We need to get food. We can get to this spot that gets us almost enough food, but not enough. I think we want to kind of explore further. So let's just move our village here. I think we can still access, we can go up to 4 spots. So we can get to these reindeer. We're not really interested in the horse. It doesn't give us enough. I mean, there is also this meat down here. We only move our village 2 spots, but we could move it to this central tile again. That would let us still access the berries and explore. It could let us access the mammoth next turn, and it would let us get to the berries down here as well. And then we probably just don't even need to go hunt. And there's wood right beside us. So let's do that. And that means it's next turn. But I'm going to quickly go fix the music. And then take a quick 2-minute break here. And then we'll continue with round 7 and see if we can do what we need to achieve these next couple of objectives here. I feel like, I think that this is looking like a win now at this point, but not by a lot. It is hard to not starve and die cold and alone. So I'm going to take a quick break. I'll be back in 2 minutes. All right, friends, we are back for Doggerland. We got 2 rounds of play left. We're playing on easy mode. We need to achieve 4 of 6 objectives. I think we've decided that 2 of the objectives are literally impossible, so we're gonna target the other 4. 2 of them are done. We got our 2 megaliths built, any 2, successfully completed. We're almost done getting all of our technology upgraded. We have 10 members of our tribe. We need 6 huts. We got to build 2 more in order to get that. So let's see what we can do here. It is our last summer round, so this is the last opportunity for us to build huts without paying additional fur. And we do not have to pay fur when going on expeditions. However, we have an abundance of fur anyway, so I'm not sure how much we care about that. But let's see what our solo enemy here is going to do. Your tribe has found some unused tools forgotten under a pelt. Add 2 tools to your supply. The fact that these events have largely been good has been really nice. They're going to get rid of any necklaces over here. If we score points at the end of this, I'm going to be deeply disappointed. Okay, they're going to block the double. They block spots we don't care about. They're ones we've already gone to. Or these are our shaman once per game actions. So that's not too bad. And now it is up to us to find some magical way to win the game. So, things we need to do. We have no food. 0. We gotta solve that. We also need to upgrade this technology. It takes time, which isn't big. You know, like, we just need to make sure we do it. And we're out of wood. We have 1 wood left. We're gonna spend 1 here. And we're gonna need some for building huts. So that's probably something we should solve. Now, if we take our chieftain and use that guy to build a hut for us, we got to pay a tool right now as a programming cost, but he doesn't have to spend wood when building huts. So we can even get the better one. Then we don't spend stone, we spend pelts and bone, which we kind of have a lot of. And I think we can probably just find the wood elsewhere and commit this guy here now. We'll pay the tool. And we need a wood and a stone. We have the stone, we got the wood, but we really need 1 more. So we should go with our remaining guys. We need to find wood and we need to get food. So one thing we can do is we can send an expedition to, like, these berries, for instance, and that'll get us 9 berries. That's almost enough food. And if we take these other guys and send them to the other expedition here, both are within 4 walking distance, right? So 1, 2, 3. Actually, maybe we can't plan to do this because we only have 3 walking distance researched right now. So maybe we can't actually do that. Damn, I screwed that up. That's okay. We get almost enough food from this anyway. Fine. We can send some dudes to go get some wood. If we were trying to min-max, we could send them each with a tool. They'll bring back 4 wood each. That's 8. That's plenty for the rest of the game here for us. The only thing we don't have a lot of is tools. We can send one of these guys to turn a stone and a bone into more tools. We can send one of these guys to upgrade this, because we will have the actions. Oh, wait, but we're still 1 food short. Well, I mean, we don't have to do this turn. We could do this next turn. But we can also just send this shaman here to the small game. He'll get a meat, and that'll be enough. We'll get 9, 11 food. That feels lame, like we could be doing cooler actions with our shaman, but we could trade also. Well, whatever, we'll save that for next time, I guess, maybe. Okay. I think our planning is pretty reasonable. We get to explore down here. Found a lake. We can get food from that too. Found more berries. Rad. We get to explore up here. More wood. We're also going to explore here. More berries. And some stone. So there actually exists stone on the map again. That's big. And then I guess we'll explore down here too. Another pond. Another lake. All right. We get to resolve our actions. Let's do the shaman first. The shaman's going to go find some meat and fur. I can pick it up. How's the baby making going? We've paused on the baby making for now. But our goal was to get our tribe to at least 10 members, and we have that. 12 is the most we can have, and we're at 10. So I think the shaman's been seeing some action, I'll say that. Okay. He's a hit with the ladies. All right, we're going to get 9 berries from down here, which I'm going to take 1 as though it was 9, because we're just going to end up spending them all this round. I guess we'll end up with 1 change, but whatever. I just don't want to take all them and put them down here. It's a pain in the butt. This guy will get us 4 wood, as will this guy. So that gets us 8 wood. Six, 7, 8. We will spend a wood and a stone to upgrade our final technology here. And we will spend a stone and a bone to get 5 more tools. And then, who else is on the board? We got 2 dudes missing. Where the hell did I do with them? Oh, they're down here to build huts. That's right. So our chieftain doesn't have to pay wood. So he can get us a luxury hut for just a bone and a pelt. And then we're going to build this basic one for a wood and a stone with the other guy. So we've done all of our stuff. Migrations are going to happen. So these guys will move first. This guy's going to move 1. I think he skips these spots. 2, 3, 4. I don't think we count them at all. And then the pink guy is going to move 1, 2, 3, 4. He kills this bison. What a dickhead. And then the blue guy's going to move 2, 1, 2. And this spot is now exhausted. I wonder if they're supposed to skip exhausted spots. I don't think so. It specifically says they can end up on the same spot. So that implies that they wouldn't. Okay. So they've moved. Animals will migrate. This guy can't do it. This guy is going to migrate to there. There's like a somewhat complicated system, I think, for resolving clashes with animals migrating, where they would migrate. Order of operations matters. And I think they could have just said, like, resolve it clockwise and left the overhead out. It's kind of weird. But anyway. So now we got to feed our tribe. We said this counts as 9 berries. We're too lazy to take them. So we're going to pay 8 and take 1 back. And then the other meat is 2. So that's 10. We've fed our tribe. We're going to check our objectives. We have this objective now. So we have all of our technologies maxed out. And we have 6 huts. So we have this objective. Now we need to achieve 4 out of 6 in order to win on the easy difficulty. So we currently are winning, but it specifically says if an event causes you to like no longer qualify, you lose it. So we have to play the last round and not starve in order to win the game. But we're currently, it's looking promising. We're going to play our last round, which is a winter round. Okay. That means we are going to spawn the first mammoth we've ever seen and another one down here. So, given that we're winning, I think let's take down a mammoth as like, you know, like as a final objective, I think, probably. But we'll see. And yeah, we can move our village up to 2 spaces. We can currently get to that mammoth, and we can actually get, oh, I forgot to mark this as used up. We can get to both of these other berry spots in order to get some food. So I think we're just going to leave our village exactly where it is. Chia Kitten, welcome in. Time Roller, you as well. Hope you guys are doing well. So we're not going to move our village, and we're going to see, does this event ruin our ability to win? Hopefully it just gives us something. They've been overall pretty good. Good hunting lately. Your tribe organizes a grand feast. Discard -2 scarcity if you can. Okay, we haven't taken any scarcity tiles, which is a loss condition in the single player game. So just nothing happens. We're going to discard the necklaces from down here. There aren't any. And these guys are going to block a couple of the spots on the board. So yeah, and they're going to move, but we really don't care. If we just find a way to eat, we win the game. We've got 4 objectives. We don't have to get any more. We just have to find a way to eat. So a great way to eat would be to kill that mammoth. It's going to give us 6 meat, which is enough for everybody in the village. But to go after it, we're going to need to pay a fur for our expedition. And we need a total mastery value of 8. So we're going to send our chieftain. That's 2. We're going to send 3 dudes. That's 3, 4, 5. And we're going to pay 3 tools. That is 8 for that expedition, which is enough to take down that mammoth. We need to spend at least 4 guys, mastery of at least 8. And they're going to be able to they can have enough carrying capacity that they can bring everything back from it. And that's going to be enough to feed our family. So at this point, we know that we're at the point where we can win. So why don't we celebrate by making a baby? And because it's not wholly clear how this is supposed to work, we can, we have the 6 huts. We need 6 huts. We start with 2, but it's not clear whether those are supposed to count for the objective or not. So we're just going to build extra ones as like a flex to make sure that we get it done. So we're going to build 2 houses. Okay, it's winter time. We have to pay a fur and a tool for each of those. So 2 tools and 2 furs. And we're also going to spend some stone and bone making more tools. And then our shaman is just chilling here with nothing really to do. You know what? No, our shaman's going back to the baby making hut because he's a popular attraction there. And just to make sure I haven't screwed this up, which I don't think I have, but it's totally possible I have. I think that we should go get some more stone with this guy. It's the resource we have the least of. We need wood and stone for our houses. But we have enough wood. I feel like I forgot to cover up some of the wood that I exhausted, but that's okay. There was one stone spot that came out. Well, did this guy take it? Ah, shit. We can't get stone. Okay, well... that sucks. We will just, we'll go visit a lake. We've never done that. We're gonna go visit this lake. Because that'll get us some food and bone. Alright. So, now we get to resolve all of our actions. So we'll do this one first. This guy is gonna spend a stone and a bone to get 5 new tools. 4, 5. Okay. We made a baby. Shaman made a baby. He's happy. You can see, look how happy the shaman is. Why do you think his arms are raised up like that? That he celebrates victory in a very specific way a lot. In fact, he's gonna even be in his own hut. He gets the only nice, prestigious hut we built. Okay, but he's gonna go fishing. That gets him a berry and a bone. And I think the only thing left now is our huge hunt over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No. There's 4 guys on that. That's 9. Where are the other 2? Oh, they're building huts. That's right. Okay, so let's resolve these. So these guys could build the nice ones or the not so nice ones. It doesn't really make a difference. We have enough space either way, but we need 2 wood and 2 bone and 2 fur will get us the better ones. That will leave us with enough space for everybody to live. 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, 12. Yeah. We're good. So these guys are done. They can even live in their nice hut that they just built for themselves. And then we got to resolve this huge hunt. So these 4 dudes brought these tools out here so that they would have enough mastery to take down this mammoth. And they managed to do so. So he's going to go into our collective memory here. And we're going to collect the resources from him. Now, each guy could hold 4 things, so we can bring back at most a total of 16, which is totally enough, because it's 6 meat, 5 furs, and 3 bones. 6 meat, 5 fur, and 3 bones. I'm not even going to bother to take the fur, whatever. We don't even need to take these. We're done. We won. We did it. As a victory march, we took down a huge mammoth. And, yeah, these guys could move. I don't even think it's worth reconciling that because it doesn't make any outcome or changes to the outcome of our game. They're just going to consume some of the animals off the board and whatever, but it doesn't otherwise matter. So we're not going to do that. So we basically have to be able to feed our tribe, which we have 11 members, but we don't feed the baby. So we actually only need 10. So we can spend 10 of the meat from the mammoth. 5 meat, 2 each worth 2. And we successfully fed our tribe. We've got 4 out of 6 objectives complete. And that means we win. So if you've completed 4 of the 6 objectives with no more than 3 scarcity tiles, you win. We have 0 scarcity tiles, and we've completed exactly 4 objectives. So that's a dub. You should feed the baby. Okay, I'll feed the baby a berry. Okay, We even had the extra bandwidth to feed them a berry. All right, so that was Doggerland. We win. Winning on a first play, somewhat rare. I mean, we did win on easy, admittedly. I would say overall this game felt very tight. It felt like each round I could focus on, achieving one thing. I was either hunting and having a little bit of surplus food, or working on improving my tech because I had surplus food last time or whatever. So in that regard, it did seem like pretty thematic, I think. This is supposed to be, hunter-gatherers 15,000 years ago. We've got very little tech, and it is difficult for us to survive, just to get by. I would say overall, I'd be really interested to play this again more as a 4-player game, or 2-player even. I think the solo game worked okay, but it wasn't like super satisfying. These cards, you take 8 out of a deck of 30. And like functionally, like we had these objectives to work on the fresco, right? Where in order to do that, we have to have recently hunt an animal and then go paint the fresco. And just through RNG, it was basically impossible to do that. If ever one of these cards comes up that, shows a paint the fresco icon for the AI, they just take all of the animals out of the collective memory. And it felt like because we were really resource constrained, finding free time to make cave paintings was really difficult. And it was like, well, we are going to kill the animal this round and then we'll do the painting next round, which seemed like viable and reasonable. But then like every single time, the AI just ruined our day, right? So that made it like, so of the 6 objectives we had to work with, by coincidence, 2 of them felt like literally like there was no way. I could have put points and effort toward them, but I don't think we could have achieved them, right? I think that was probably random. I think, you get 8 cards out of 30. You might get none that paint the fresco. Maybe we got a really disproportionately high number. You also might not actually get these objectives. There's 11 and we picked 6, like at random. So that's not like a big criticism or anything, but overall the solo mode felt like there's a couple of random things happening to make it feel like, to make it be resource constrained. And it felt like those were either neutral or unsatisfying and never like good. It just wasn't a super satisfying solo mode, right? Beginner's luck. There you go. I feel I have low confidence that I could beat this on normal or hard difficulty. For normal difficulty, you play with 1 extra objective tile and you need to complete 5 out of 7. And then for hard, you play with another extra one, but then you need to complete 6 out of 8. And like we had a little bit of bandwidth towards the end to do some more stuff, but I think actually achieving 1 or 2 additional objectives would have been extremely challenging, right? So I don't know. It's like I feel kind of lukewarm about this. I think I love this as a theme. I think there's a lot of like good ideas here that I wish were like slightly more sophisticated. The way the animals migrate and all of that sort of stuff is fine. It's kind of cool, but it's sort of also like needlessly complicated in a way. It's not like it actually is complicated, but it could have been like dead simple. And there just feels like there's a couple areas where there's like a little bit of overhead in this game that really doesn't need to be there. I'm saying that after 1 play, of course. And that's where I think it'd be really interesting to try this with some human opponents, because I think that the solo experience was fine. I would play this game again for sure. I'd try this on normal or hard mode next time, and I'd be curious to see how this random deck affected things. And I definitely did feel like I was hard up for resources throughout the game. It was really challenging to, just have enough. Just it felt like we were sliding by every turn, which is good. I really like that in a worker placement type game personally, right? I know a guy who loses games and his name rhymes with cost op games. Nice. Except I won this time, so ha. But yeah, I actually like that. Like, I really like some older worker placement games where when worker placement was a little bit more new, and almost all worker placement games were mutually exclusive, where if I take this action, you can't take it. Because one of the things there is you really have to anticipate what your opponent's going to do. And it can be like aggravating, but in a really satisfying puzzle to solve, right? It's why the channel's called Op Cost Games, the opportunity cost. I really like opportunity cost in board games. And I think that's the most prevalent in worker placement games where actions are mutually exclusive. So this definitely had some of that. Like, a key takeaway in all of those games is you have lots of things you want to do, and it always feels like you're leaving something on the table. You wanted to do everything, but you can't. You just don't have enough to get, this, or this, right? And this definitely felt like that. Until the last round. Whether it was coincidence or not, the last round, it felt like we knew we were going to win. We kind of had plentiful resources and everything was fine. That also might have been because we saw some of those berry tiles later. Like, it's hard to say, actually, after one play, how much did randomness affect our play? Like, there were some times where we just didn't have very much ways to get food. We basically took our only available option. And if we had had none and just starved and died, I think that would have been deeply unsatisfying. And if we had plenty, I think it would have changed the state of the game a lot. Anyways, overall, this feels like, a game I desperately, I would really like to play again, but it's got a serviceable solo mode. I would play solo again, but I'd rather play this with other opponents for sure. No kicking you off the space for cost. I mean, that's okay. It's not like I hate that, but I think a really good example is I recently played Viticulture, right? Which, at least for me, Viticulture was probably the first game I played. I don't know if it introduced the concept. I think it might have. But in Viticulture, it's a worker placement game where you have workers and you have one worker that's your grande worker that just can ignore anything and go on any space even if it's occupied. And it basically makes that takes what could have been an amazing game and makes it totally average, not even average, below average, because it just instead of being tense, it's just who gives a shit, right? The single thing that makes worker placements the most enjoyable for me, it puts a bullet in them. I need an action. Well, I know I can always take it. You can never stop me from doing it. And in that particular game, it's are there lots of actions that you want to take? Sure. But there's only going to be one or two that you ever really need to take. And it basically means that you can always do what you want. And you never have to figure things out or come up with some clever way of achieving something or whatever. It's just it immediately puts a bullet in all the tension, and it sucks. The game's way worse for it. And I'm glad that that's not present here. I'd love to see how something like this shaman track here, where we're putting things out and we're blocked by our opponents, I'd love to see how this works out in practice with more players. All right. Was it kind of okay that these guys would block us during the solo mode? Sure, but it also kind of didn't matter, right? There would be times where we might get screwed and not be able to take an action, but there's no intent behind it, so it didn't feel tense or anything, So, have you played any of the Escape the Dark games from Themeborn? Yes, I have. Escape the Dark Castle and Escape the Dark Sector, yeah. So I've played those quite a bit, actually. Those were games I was gonna break out and play because recently, because they haven't hit the table in a while. I like Escape the Dark Castle better because thematically I prefer fantasy over sci-fi, and that style of game is something that we've played here like quite a bit that I enjoy. Generally like solo dungeon crawls. I recently had my 2-year stream anniversary. That was last week, and I was intending to play a bunch of those style of games. Didn't end up happening. I had to kind of pivot, but that I had. Ooh, where did I put it? Well, I did have. Oh, here it is. I had, in that sort of vein, my favorite game is this one, Iron Helm, which is kind of not that similar. Let's be clear, but vaguely similar, I guess. So I just got their new Last of Us game. I kickstarted The Last of Us, and I'm excited to try it, but I don't have it yet. So, is it shipping? I didn't even realize that they were shipping. Sounds like you got yours, so that's cool. Yeah, I like those games a lot. They're really straightforward. They're simple. Feel like an interesting kind of push your luck. They're like a game version of a choose your own adventure book, you know. They're definitely fun. I think they're the sort of game. I don't know if enough has changed with The Last of Us. I know it's based on the same like game system, so I don't know if enough has changed to the kind of core gameplay loop. But at least the other ones, Escape the Dark Castle, Escape the Dark Sector, were the sort of game that I'm gonna play and like play that like half a dozen times, and then I want to just sort of like let it sit for 6 months and then try it again, you know. But they're great experiences. They're fun. All right, with that, I think I'm done here. I would love to play Doggerland again, but I have a hard stop in about an hour, and there is no way I can crank this game out in an hour. Yeah, not happening, especially because I'd have to reset up and that sort of stuff. So we're gonna call it quits here, but let's find a place to raid. You guys have fun suggestions in chat. I'd love to hear it. My last couple of raids have been really unsuccessful. I usually try to raid other people in the board game category because it is a very small niche, but the last couple have just been dismal. It just has not worked out. Actually felt really bad. We took a fairly big raid as we rounded out my stream anniversary earlier in the week, and dude didn't notice and like apparently did later, but I'd already left. Like, I don't know, so it sucked. All right, let's see what we got. Who's on in the board game space? Maybe Time Roller. I highly doubt it. What? A ton of options. What's this extra life stream? Who's this guy? Pulse generator. I have no idea who this is. But he's playing board games for extra life. That's an option. That feels like straight up into I'm trying to do the right thing, and we're gonna take people somewhere they're not gonna notice again. Oh, are we done? How was the game? Cosmic Beat. Yeah, I was just wrapping up. The game was good. Solo mode was acceptable, but not fabulous. I'd love to play this game with more players, is the sort of key takeaway. I would play it again on the solo mode, but it was good, not great. I'd play Unconscious Mind like 1,000 times over before I played this again. But it was still good enough that I'm not going to like race to sell it or something. I'd play it again. Also, it came with a huge forbidden candy, which I need to put in the jar before we wrap. Tried to raid yesterday and they took away the option to sort by followers. I would say, honestly, every time I raid, it's like they've changed the interface in some way. and probably some way for the worst or for the worse. But whatever. Oh, you know what? We're just gonna raid into Spark Minis because they're right here and they do board game adjacent stuff. They do mini painting, whatever. We're gonna try something different. I'm gonna start up that raid right now. And yeah, thanks for being here today. I had fun with Doggerland. I like this theme a lot. I liked this game. I wanted to like it a little bit more, and I'm curious if 2, 3, or 4 players would make the difference for me. So I'm gonna have to give that a try sometime here in the future. But yeah, I appreciate you guys being here. I will be streaming a little bit more frequently over the next little while, but I don't really know what that looks like just yet. I thought I'd find my footing by now, but I largely haven't. And I think it's kind of complicated because of things like the upcoming holiday season and all that sort of stuff. So it might just be until the new year before I get into really a consistent schedule and that sort of thing. But in any case, you'll probably see me sporadically over the next week here and there. And I hope that you guys will come join me again. And over the next little bit here, I hope you have time to work a little less and play a few more games. So we'll see you next time.